game right here. They saw the dollar signs that was Caitlin Clark. Before ESPN, before Cathy, before the Indiana, before they thought that Caitlin Clark was her, Peacock said, oh, we got to captivate on this now. We got to capitalize on this now.
Now, listen to me and listen closely, because the war for the soul of the WNBA just went nuclear. And Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is finding out the hard way that you cannot fight a tidal wave with a bucket. We are breaking down the absolute disaster unfolding in the WNBA front office right now. A situation so volatile that it is threatening to tear the entire league apart before the next season even tips off. The headline you are seeing everywhere is about a historic deal. But the real story, the story they are trying to bury, is the fury and the jealousy coming from the very top of the leadership pyramid. We have confirmation, thanks to a brave move by Napheesa Collier, that Cathy Engelbert is not just out of touch. She is actively hostile toward the reality of the Caitlin Clark effect. This is not speculation anymore. This is a confirmed report from the vice president of the Players Association, who went on record and exposed the private toxic conversations happening behind closed doors. Engelbert explicitly told Collier that Caitlin Clark should be grateful to the WNBA for her endorsements. She actually said that Clark should be thankful for the platform the league provides. As if Nike and Gatorade and NBC are investing millions of dollars because of the WNBA shield, and not because of the generational talent wearing the number 22 jersey. Caitlin Clark has decided to jump the fence. She has decided to step out of the suffocating bubble of the WNBA to play in the big leagues, to sit next to legends like Mike Tirico, Vince Carter, and Carmelo Anthony, and to speak to the entire world instead of a niche audience. Leaked reports coming directly from the office of Commissioner Cathy Engelbert described the scene inside WNBA HQ with one word: meltdown. We are hearing about screaming matches, hysterical phone calls, and one specific word that is echoing through the executive hallways: traitor. The commissioner views what Caitlin did as high treason, a stab in the back to the league that claims to have made her. But the truth we are going to expose today is that Caitlin Clark didn't betray anyone. She just saved herself from a sinking ship and proved she is the smartest businesswoman in the history of sport. To truly understand why the commissioner is screaming traitor and why this signature is effectively a declaration of war, you have to rewind and look at the catastrophic context the league is currently drowning in. The WNBA is in the middle of its worst labor crisis in history, with players threatening to strike, collective bargaining agreement negotiations hitting a dead end, and a very real possibility that the 2026 season could be cancelled or delayed. In the middle of this absolute chaos, while Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is desperately trying to glue the pieces together and convince sponsors not to flee, her biggest star, the only reason the league turned a profit last year, goes out and signs a deal with the biggest competitor for viewership attention. Caitlin signing with NBC sends one terrifying message to the WNBA: I don't need you to be famous, and I don't need you to be rich. She has secured her future far away from their courts and their control. Imagine the nightmare scenario for the commissioner. The WNBA season is cancelled due to a lockout. The arenas are dark, but millions of fans are tuning in on Sunday night to watch Caitlin Clark dressed in high fashion, smiling at the camera, breaking down a LeBron James or Stephen Curry game on NBC, making more money in one night than the WNBA paid her in an entire year. This image is a public relations disaster that the league cannot recover from because it frames the WNBA as a stepping stone that Caitlin has already rocketed past. Reports from sources very close to the decision-making circle confirm that Cathy Engelbert made a fiery phone call to Caitlin's agents the moment the news leaked. The tone was allegedly incredibly hostile, accusing them of undermining the league and distracting the public at a critical moment. The commissioner feels that Caitlin owes the league her total loyalty, that she should be in the trenches with the other players fighting for better pay and travel conditions, not signing multi-million-dollar TV deals to talk about men's sports. The word traitor reflects the mindset of the old guard that still runs the league, a mindset that believes they own the players and control their destinies. But what the commissioner fails to realize, and what Caitlin's critics fail to see, is that this move is the ultimate revenge and the smartest insurance policy ever written.
She said in the press release, "I'm really excited to be part of the Basketball Night in America crew this season. Carmelo, Vince, and Tracy are legends of the game, and Maria is a true professional. It will be really fun to join them a few times this season." And then from NBC, "Caitlin is one of the most captivating players and dynamic scorers in basketball. We're excited to have Caitlin join Hall of Famers Melo, Vince."
Let's be brutally honest and open the files that the league wants to keep shut. Why does Caitlin Clark owe this league any loyalty? Has the commissioner forgotten what happened in 2024? Did she forget how she let Caitlin get physically assaulted on the court game after game without the referees intervening? Did she forget how she allowed veteran players to launch coordinated media smear campaigns, calling her just hype? Did she forget how Caitlin was snubbed from the Paris Olympic team with flimsy excuses while the whole world demanded her presence? The WNBA didn't protect Caitlin, and the WNBA didn't embrace Caitlin. The WNBA tried to exploit Caitlin to sell tickets while leaving her to the wolves in the locker room. So, when the opportunity comes for Caitlin to build her own empire far away from the mercy of these people, it would be foolish not to take it. This NBC deal is her saying, "You didn't protect me on the court, so I built my own fortress off the court." The details of the NBC deal are staggering and reveal the scale of her ambition. We are not talking about a sideline reporter doing quick interviews. We are talking about a special contributor role. This means she will be in the main studio. She will be the face of the LA Olympics coverage, and she will be part of the massive NFL promotional machine. NBC is betting that Caitlin Clark is the next face of American sports, regardless of gender, placing her in the same stratosphere as Tom Brady or Shaq. This gives her terrifying leverage. Imagine Caitlin Clark sitting in the NBC studio with the power to sway public opinion against the WNBA leadership with a single sentence. She can criticize the officiating. She can criticize the salaries, and millions will listen. That is why the commissioner is exploding with rage. She realizes she has lost control. Previously, she could fine Caitlin or pressure her. But now, Caitlin is an employee of NBC Universal, a media giant, 1,000 times more powerful than the WNBA. The balance of power has completely flipped. There is another angle that is making the veteran players see red with jealousy more than ever before. Diana Taurasi, Brianna Stewart, and others have spent years trying to get a fraction of this mainstream media respect. Now they see the rookie who hasn't even finished 2 full years in the league landing the dream job that any athlete prays for after retirement. They see her leapfrogging all of them to become the voice of basketball in America. This will undoubtedly increase the tension in the locker rooms if the league returns to action. But the difference now is that Caitlin doesn't care. Before, she tried to win them over. She tried to be a good teammate. Now she knows she is on a different level. She knows she is the institution and they are the employees. This contract frees her from the pressure of the fake sisterhood of the league. If they decide to freeze her out of plays or treat her harshly, she can go home, turn on the NBC camera, and make millions while laughing. What Caitlin Clark has done is a masterclass in athlete business management. She didn't put all her eggs in one basket. She realized the WNBA has a low ceiling and endless administrative drama. So, she decided to expand her horizons. Look at the numbers. Caitlin brought new TV deals to the league. She brought private planes. She brought millions of fans. And instead of being thanked and crowned, she was treated like an outsider who needed to be humbled. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert failed the most important test, the test of protecting the asset. She should have made Caitlin feel like the queen of the league, but she let her feel trapped. And now, when the chains are broken, the commissioner has no right to scream betrayal. The real betrayal was when the league failed to capitalize on the gift that fell from the sky. We are now waiting for the first moment Caitlin appears on the NBC screen. That moment will be historic. It will be the moment the league realizes the true magnitude of their loss. Will Caitlin talk about the league's problems? Will she hint at the mistreatment? Or will she ignore them completely and talk about the greatness of LeBron James and Steph Curry? The silence would be the loudest blow. If Caitlin becomes bigger than the league, the WNBA becomes just a footnote in her career. The commissioner knows this. The players know this. And that is why we are seeing this vicious attack and accusations of treason behind closed doors. They are scared. They are scared that the world will discover that Caitlin Clark is the event and the WNBA was just the venue where it happened. In conclusion, this story isn't over. It has just begun. Caitlin Clark drew a line in the sand and told the world, "I am a basketball player, but I am also a media icon, and I will go where I am celebrated." The question I leave you with today in the heat of this battle is, do you consider what Caitlin did to be genius business strategy, or do you agree with the commissioner that it is a betrayal of the league during a crisis? And do you think this contract is the first step toward Caitlin leaving the WNBA forever to focus on media? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the debate is going to be white hot. And remember, we will be the first to cover her NBC debut and analyze every word. Subscribe, hit the bell, because the era of media mogul Caitlin Clark has begun, and it will take no prisoners.